In the wild, every day is a battle for survival. Just one moment of distraction, and the hunter can become the hunted. Across deep forests, vast savannas, and endless oceans, animals have developed incredible skills for hunting, camouflage, and survival. There are breathtaking high-speed chases, perfectly timed ambushes, and moments in nature that leave us truly amazed. In today's video, you will witness some of the most real and dramatic moments from the world of wild animals. Let's dive in. Lion, the king who must keep proving his power. There is one sound that, when it rises through the African night, causes almost every creature to pause. It is the lion's roar, not merely a sound, but a declaration, a boundary, a warning that this territory already has a ruler, and any creature stepping into it is taking a dangerous gamble. The lion has long become a symbol of wild power, but its true strength does not lie only in its mane, its teeth, or its commanding stare. It lies in its social structure. In the world of big cats, the lion is almost an exception. It lives in a pride, and the pride is what turns it from a powerful predator into a true empire of hunters. As evening falls and the heat begins to ease, the lionesses rise after a day spent stretched beneath shade. Their ears turn toward the hoofbeats in the distance. The scent of wildebeest drifts on the wind. A hunt is about to begin. Without needing words, each lioness moves into place. One circles left. One stays low in the grass. One waits near the escape route. This is the art of ambush through coordination. Not every hunt succeeds. In fact, most of them fail. But when it works, it is an almost perfect combination of patience, short bursts of speed, and a deadly finishing hold. A zebra falls out of rhythm with the herd. That is the moment the lions wait for. One charge. Calm, dust explodes. Claws lock into shoulders. Jaws close around the throat. The prey's life ends quickly in a brief storm of violence. On the savannah, the lion's crown is never gifted. It is earned through every kill, every battle, and every night roar that guards its land. But being king does not mean being unbeatable. Lions have challengers too. Cape buffalo can counterattack with terrifying force. Hippos can drive them back. Full-grown elephants are nearly impossible fortresses. Hyenas may not be strong enough to win head-on, but they are stubborn enough to harass, wait, and steal opportunities. Mid-hook. And that is the cruelest truth about the lion's throne. To remain king, it must prove itself every single day. Competition within the species is even more brutal. Coalitions of nomadic males are always looking for a chance to seize a pride from another. If they succeed, they may kill the cubs of the previous males in order to force the lionesses back into breeding condition. It sounds merciless, but it is the law of nature. Lions live between glory and violence, between family and conquest. That is what makes them both majestic and tragic. Night deepens. The pride gathers around the carcass. Cubs push in, learning how to feed. Lionesses remain alert. The male sits slightly apart like a great shadow. That image explains why lions became one of Africa's greatest symbols. Not because they always win, but because, despite constant challenge, they still stand there, roaring, and forcing the entire savannah to listen. Crocodile. The judge beneath the weight. You can hear the roar of a lion across the grasslands. You can see a pack of hyenas hunting in the darkness. But there is one predator that almost never leaves any warning at all, until everything is already too late. Beneath the seemingly calm waters of Africa's rivers, the crocodile lies there like part of the mud itself, like a fragment of Earth's ancient memory that never disappeared. It does not hurry. It does not show off. It simply waits. Dawn spreads across the river in a thin wash of pale golden light. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and warthogs begin moving toward the water's edge. They are thirsty. They are tired. They have crossed scorched grasslands, escaped lions, and listened to the eerie laughter of hyenas in the night. But for many animals on the savannah, the place where they come to drink is sometimes the very place where they face their deadliest executioner. A crocodile is unlike any other hunter. It does not chase prey across hundreds of meters like a cheetah. It does not coordinate like lions. Its power lies in invisibility. Its eyes and nostrils barely break the surface, while the rest of its body sinks into the murky, cold, motionless mud below. In the crocodile's world, patience is an instinct sharpened over millions of years of evolution. A young wildebeest steps into the water first. It lowers its head and touches its mouth to the surface. Everything seems suspiciously still. No sound, no strange ripple, no signal at all that death is waiting directly beneath it. Then, in a fraction of a second, the river explodes. A massive body launches upward from the bottom, like a blade snapping free from its sheath. The crocodile's jaws clamp onto the prey's leg and yank it violently toward deeper water. The entire herd jolts in terror. Water sprays everywhere, and panic cries shatter the morning air. But for the crocodile, everything has only just begun. Once its jaws have locked on, it twists. That death roll is not just a hunting technique, it is a sentence. It tears muscles, breaks joints, strips the prey of its balance, and drags it under. Mid-hook. But what makes the crocodile most terrifying is not the moment it attacks, it is the moment afterward, when the surface becomes calm again, as though nothing ever happened. It is that silence that turns it into a true nightmare for every creature forced to come down to the river. A gap in the herd, a few fading ripples, no victorious roar, no display of power, just one life erased from the world in a matter of seconds. The crocodile is the purest image of cold, ancient power in nature. It does not kill out of anger. It does not hunt for display. It simply does what it was born to do. During migration season, when thousands of wildebeest plunge into the river to cross the border between life and death, crocodiles are like ancient traps rising back to life. The whole river becomes a battlefield of chaos. Horns collide, hooves strike wildly, bodies crush against each other in muddy water, while below them lie the unblinking judges. As terrifying as it is, the crocodile plays an essential role in the ecosystem. It removes the weak, balances prey populations, and reminds every species that nature has no place of absolute safety. On the savannah, death may come from above, from the grass, or from the darkness, but beneath the water, it comes in silence. And that is what makes the crocodile one of Africa's most terrifying rulers. Leopard, the spotted ghost of the darkness. If the lion is the voice of power, the leopard is the embodiment of secrecy. It does not need to announce its presence. It does not need allies. It does not need to create chaos. All it takes is one spotted shadow slipping through brush, one branch trembling almost imperceptibly, and a few seconds later, a life has changed owners. The leopard lives like a shadow on the savanna. In late afternoon, when sunlight falls through the trees and the ground is broken into shifting patches of light and dark, its spotted coat almost dissolves into the landscape. Few hunters achieve camouflage at the leopard's level. Every step is as soft as breath. Every pause carries calculation. Every approach is a perfect test of patience and eruption. A Thompson's gazelle grazes a little too far from the herd. It raises its head now and then, ears flicking, but it has not noticed the pair of golden eyes locked onto it. The leopard does not chase from a distance the way a cheetah does. It prefers to reduce the gap as much as possible. It becomes darkness inside light, stillness inside a world full of sound. Then, when the distance is short enough, it shoots forward like an arrow. No wasted movement, no excess. One leap, one grip on the throat, a few moments of struggle, and the field falls silent again. That is what makes the leopard so frightening. Death in its grasp comes quickly, cleanly, and almost beautifully in a cold, ruthless way. But making the kill is only half the battle. On the savanna, every prize can be stolen. Hyenas scent blood quickly. Lions can emerge from any patch of grass. That is why the leopard developed the skill that turned it into a legend, dragging its prey into a tree. In the fading light, the sight of a leopard hauling a gazelle carcass high into the branches is one of nature's most extraordinary spectacles. Muscles tighten, claws grip bark, and the supple body lifts its entire meal into the air to a place most rivals cannot reach. The branch becomes a pantry, a dining table, and a fortress. Mid-hook. But what truly makes the leopard terrifying is not only the way it kills, it is the way it disappears immediately afterward, as though it had never existed at all. You can walk past a tree, see a still grassland, hear the evening birds, and think everything is safe. Or just a few meters away, high in a branch, a leopard lies motionless, its eyes tracking every movement below. The leopard is a master of solitude. It needs no pride, no shared labor, no loud declarations of territory. Its world is mapped in hidden routes, safe trees, quiet hunting paths, and dark spaces where it always holds the advantage. The beauty of the leopard is not loud like a lion's, nor explosive like a cheetah's. It is the beauty of precision, of a blade hidden inside velvet, of death without warning. And perhaps that is why the leopard leaves people feeling both awe and unease. In an Africa full of noise, it chooses to become silence that knows how to hunt. When the roar has faded, when the lions lie on their backs beneath the shade, when the prey is nothing more than a motionless body on trampled grass, that is when the sky begins to move. From far away, black specks appear, circling, dropping lower, tightening their spirals. The vultures have arrived. They are not the ones who begin death, but they are almost always the ones who appear at exactly the right time to place the final mark at the end of a life nature has already chosen. No one praises vultures the way people praise lions or leopards. They do not possess cinematic beauty, nor do they create breathtaking chases. Their bald heads, thin necks, and awkward walk make them easy to call ugly. But nature does not judge a creature by its appearance. It judges by function. And vultures are the irreplaceable cleaners of the savanna. The carcass of a wildebeest lies abandoned after the previous night's hunt. The finest parts already belong to the lions. The hyenas may have come later, cracking bones and dragging away what remained. Yet there is always something left to be dealt with, something that must be returned to the earth, to bacteria, to the cycle. Vultures arrive to do that work. They do not descend immediately. Vultures understand the laws of the savanna very well. As long as stronger animals are still nearby, landing too early could turn them into victims themselves. So they watch, they wait, and when the moment comes, the whole flock falls from the sky like a black storm. beak of each vulture species is designed for a different part of the job. The strongest beaks tear through thick hide. Smaller species reach into the openings to pull out what remains. They are not the chaotic mob many people imagine. They are an astonishingly efficient chain of biological cleanup, mid-hook. And in just a few minutes, a creature that once ran, fought, and lived with fear and instinct inside it is reduced to white bones lying in the grass. It sounds cruel, but this is one of the quiet miracles of nature. Vultures prevent carcasses from rotting too long, reduce the spread of disease, clear the battlefield, and return nutrients to the soil. They are not symbols of horror. They are symbols of absolute efficiency. In the African sky, vultures are also masters of energy conservation. They ride thermals for hours, sweeping the land below with extraordinary eyesight. One bird drops lower, and the others understand immediately. They read each other's movements like invisible news written in the air. That is why when you see vultures beginning to circle overhead, it is very likely that somewhere below a survival story has just ended. The strange thing is that this bird, so closely tied to death, contributes to life far more than people realize. Without vultures, the savannah would be full of rotting corpses, bacteria, and disease. They keep nature cleaner, even if their work is not beautiful. Vultures remind us that nature is not romantic in the way sunsets make it seem. It is practical, cold, and yet deeply balanced. And within that balance, those ugly black shadows in the sky are the ones who uphold the final order. In the African night, there is one sound that makes many animals' fur stand on end. It is not the roar of a lion, nor the footfall of elephants. It is the strange, broken, chilling laughter of the hyena. To humans, that sound feels both absurd and ghostly. But to the savannah, it is the signal that one of the most relentless and efficient hunters is beginning its shift. Hyenas have long been branded as thieves, scavengers, creatures that live off the labor of others. But the truth is far more complex. They are not merely scavengers. They are organized hunters, strategic animals, members of highly structured societies, and possessors of jaws powerful enough to crush bone. A clan of spotted hyenas moves through the grass at night. High shoulders, sloping back, heavy head, thick jaws, and eyes always in motion. They are not beautiful in a regal way, but every part of their body is built for survival. They can run for long distances, wearing prey down until it breaks. They coordinate well, call to one another with distinctive vocalizations, and understand the role of every individual in the group. A young zebra has drifted too far from the herd in the moonlight. The hyenas notice instantly. They do not rush in wildly. They spread into a loose formation. One pressures from the left. One circles behind. Others hold distance to cut off escape. This is not chaos. This is strategy built over countless hunts. Once the chase begins, a hyena does not rely on a single perfect strike. It bets on exhaustion, on every step that weakens the prey, on every ragged breath that breaks its will. Mid-hook, and when the decisive moment comes, the prey does not fall because of a flawless killing blow. It falls because the hyena never gave up. That is the style of this species. Not graceful, not dramatic, but brutally effective. In the wild, effectiveness is what keeps a species alive. Hyenas are also remarkable because of their matriarchal social structure. Females dominate, are larger, and are more aggressive than males. The clan functions to a clear order, with alliances, tensions, and complex coordination. They defend territory, raise their young, and compete intensely with lions. Between hyenas and lions lies a power struggle that almost never ends. They steal kills from one another, kill each other's young, and watch every carcass like rival empires. A large hyena clan can drive off lionesses, but a single full-grown male lion can reverse everything in an instant. Hyenas force us to rethink our prejudices. They are not cowardly, they are practical. They do not diminish themselves because of their appearance, and they do not need beauty in order to be respected. They live exactly as nature demands, persistent, intelligent, and opportunistic. On the savannah, that is not a flaw. It is power. It is power. Elephant, the giant that carries the memory of the savannah. Across a land where roars, pounding hooves, and bloody hunts unfold every day, there is one animal that never needs to hunt and still makes the entire savannah part around it. When a herd of elephants appears on the horizon, the ground seems to tremble beneath their footsteps. It is not only the presence of Africa's largest land animal, it is the presence of memory, of strength, of family, and of power built on absolute unity. Dawn spreads a soft light across the savannah. The herd moves slowly through dry grass, led by the matriarch with a calm that feels almost regal. She remembers where water once remained during drought. She remembers the safe fruits through thorn scrub. She remembers the scent of lions in the wind and the lands that swallowed a calf during harsh years. For elephants, memory is not a gift. It is the strongest survival weapon they possess. A calf slips between the legs of its mother and aunt, playfully tossing dust with his trunk, as if the world outside holds no danger at all. But the herd knows the truth. In Africa, a calf is never truly safe. Lions are always watching. Hyenas are always scenting out opportunity. And nature is always waiting for one weak moment. That is why an elephant herd is not simply a group of animals moving together. It is a living fortress. At the first sign of danger, the herd tightens instantly. The calves are pushed into the center. The adults turn outward. There is memory, loyalty, and connection. In an Africa filled with claws and teeth, elephants teach the savannah a powerful lesson. The greatest form of power does not always come from aggression. Sometimes it comes from the ability to protect, to endure, and to lead an entire generation through the harshest dry seasons. Hippopotamus, the hot-tempered tank of the river. Many people look at a hippo and see a huge, heavy, almost clumsy body. They think it is just a lazy herbivore that likes to stay in the water. But in Africa, few mistakes are more dangerous than underestimating a hippopotamus. Beneath its thick skin and sleepy-looking eyes lies one of the most aggressive and unpredictable animals along the riverbank. At midday, as the sun pours fire across the savannah, hippos sink their bodies into the cool water. They gather in clusters, exposing only their backs, ears, eyes, and nostrils. From a distance, they look like floating rocks, but that stillness is only a shell. To the hippo, the river is not just a place to rest, it is territory. It is property. It is something worth fighting for to the bitter end. A large bull controls the best stretch of water. It is deep enough, the banks are manageable, and the grazing grounds at night are close enough. He seems almost motionless all day, yet everything within sight belongs to him. The moment another male dares approach, the atmosphere becomes tight as a drawn bowstring. Hippos do not need to hunt in order to be dangerous. Their jaws are enormous enough to crush bone. Their tusk-like teeth are like spears, and their sheer body mass turns each charge into the equivalent of a runaway tank. On land, they can accelerate much faster than most people imagine. In water, they move by pushing and launching themselves in a way that seems both heavy and strangely agile. At night, hippos leave the river to graze. That is when another side of them appears. The silent daytime masses turn into dark, heavy shadows moving across the grassland with frightening authority. They eat grass, but they do not carry the peaceful nature of antelope or zebra. If you block their path, come too close, or disturb them at the wrong moment, any creature can be caught in their rage. Mid-hook, and then in the thick darkness, a rough bellow erupts along the riverbank. A rival male has stepped into a place that does not belong to him. The battle explodes without warning. two giant bodies crash into each other with their full weight. Their jaws open wide like the gates of hell. Tusks slash water, strike hide, and sink into flesh. Each collision sends mud and blood spraying into the moonlight. This is not a simple show of force. It is a war to decide who stays, who leaves, and who controls this stretch of river. What makes the hippo terrifying is the perfect contradiction inside it. It is a herbivore, yet its level of aggression rivals that of predators. It looks slow, yet it can explode forward with terrifying speed. It appears harmless while submerged in water, yet it is a ticking bomb inside the river itself. Even crocodiles usually avoid direct conflict with a healthy adult hippo. Lions will only target calves or weakened individuals in extremely rare opportunities. Yet the hippo is not only a walking outburst of rage. It also moves nutrients between grassland and river, shapes surrounding vegetation, and influences the structure of the environment along the water. However brutal it may be, it is still an essential part of the ecosystem. But for those forced to pass the riverbank after dark, that ecological role is not what stays in their minds. What they remember is this truth. Some monsters do not need to be predators to make the entire savannah afraid, and the hippo is one of them. They may look awkward. They may look rough. But if you think an African warthog is an easy meal, you may be making the same mistake as many young predators. Because beneath that rugged appearance is a stubborn, fearless fighter that will resist until the very end. Warthogs move across the grassland with large heads, snouts always busy digging, and curved tusks sharpened into weapons. They are omnivores, adaptable, and capable of using almost any food source they can find: roots, tubers, grass, fruit, insects, and carrion. That flexibility allows them to survive under many different conditions. A warthog family searches for food in the early morning. Piglets trot around their mother while she remains close enough to defend them the instant danger appears. They often kneel on their front knees while grazing, a posture that looks oddly comical. But that image is deceptive. If danger comes, the entire family can sprint with surprising speed into cover or into a burrow. Warthogs often use abandoned aardvark burrows for shelter. These underground refuges are essential protection from lions, leopards, and hyenas. Interestingly, they usually enter the burrow backwards so that their tusks face outward toward the entrance. It is a small detail, but one that reveals just how practical and alert they truly are. And then, when the grass suddenly shivers, a leopard lunges toward the piglets. It seems like the hunt will end in seconds, but the mother spins around, lowers her tusks, and turns herself into a living blade. That is what makes warthogs so frustrating for predators. They are not passive prey. They scream, twist, slash with their tusks, and run hard. For a solitary hunter like a leopard, one well-placed stab can become a serious or even fatal injury. Warthogs also play an important role in the ecosystem. Their digging disturbs the topsoil, helps expose insects for birds, and can assist in seed movement. They are a classic omnivore, both prey and recycler at the same time. Though they often appear as comic relief in wildlife scenes, warthogs are in fact deeply impressive survivors. They are not the fastest, not the biggest, but they are adaptable, stubborn, and smart enough to use the landscape to their advantage. Any warthog that survives into adulthood has already escaped countless death attempts. In the hot afternoon light, we sometimes see them running in single file with their tails held upright like tiny flags. It looks amusing, but that tail position helps piglets follow their mother through tall grass. Behind that charming image lies a finely tuned survival system. Warthogs do not need the glory of lions or leopards. They do not have regal presence or cinematic beauty. But in Africa, where each day is an examination of survival, the warthog proves that toughness can be noisy, muddy, and very far from elegant. And for that reason, it deserves to be seen for what it truly is: one of the bravest low-built fighters on the savannah, an animal that may run when it must, but when cornered, will fight as if it has absolutely nothing left to lose. These animals are not born to fight with strength, nor to dominate through size. They survive through something more delicate and yet more extraordinary: reflex. Thompson's gazelle is the embodiment of life, running along the very edge of death every day. Small, slim, light, and almost always high on every predator's list, this gazelle lives in a world where every time it lowers its head to graze, it is taking a gamble. The cheetah wants it because it is the ideal target for speed. The leopard wants it because of its manageable size. Hyenas want it because it can be isolated from the herd. Lions want it because calves and careless adults are always opportunities. But nature did not create this species simply to be eaten. It gave Thompson's gazelle explosive agility, the ability to change direction with astonishing sharpness, and its famous stotting jumps that seem to declare defiantly to any predator, "I am strong enough to make you think twice." Across the short grass, a herd of Thompson's gazelles is scattered like flickering patches of white and tan. They graze quickly, lift in a state of readiness to flee. Not tragic, not surrendered. Simply alive inside a harsh world by using every drop of speed and instinct nature has given it. Every leap of a Thompson's gazelle feels like a challenge thrown at death itself. And perhaps that is exactly what makes it so extraordinary. In a continent where power often belongs to the large and the violent, this gazelle still survives through elegance of movement and the determination to live one more day. Wild Day Beast, the traveler in a journey written in life and death. Every year when the dry season begins to tighten its grip on the grasslands with thirst and burning heat, an ancient instinct awakens inside hundreds of thousands of bodies. The wildebeest begin to move, not for a journey, not for adventure, but to throw themselves into a migration where death walks beside them every step of the way. From a distance, the wildebeest herd looks like a black river flowing across the earth. Hooves thunder. Dust rises in great clouds. Heavy heads, curved horns, powerful shoulders, and a chorus of calls merge into one giant heartbeat of the savannah. They are not as beautiful as zebras, not as fast as Thompson's gazelles, but when the herd moves as one, Very few sights on Earth are more magnificent. What is most admirable about wildebeest is their collective endurance. Each individual animal may not seem especially remarkable on its own, but together they become an enormous force. A sea of living bodies in which fear, instinct, and hope merge into one. They move according to the scent of fresh grass, according to distant rains, according to migratory memory written into blood across countless generations. But along with them, the entire ecosystem moves as well. Lions follow. Hyenas follow. Vultures trace circles above. Crocodiles wait in rivers like dark gates. The wildebeest migration is not just a search for grass. It is the living engine of the entire savanna. A calf runs close beside its mother, stumbling amid the crashing waves of hooves. It is born into a world where running is almost the first lesson. There is little time for childhood. There are no long seasons of peace. On the savanna, being separated, slowing down, or hesitating for just a few seconds can cost a life, mid-hook. But the most horrifying moment always comes at the riverbank, where the entire herd must choose between two fears: jump in and possibly die, or stay where they are and almost certainly die. The whole herd bunches at the edge. They sniff, stamp, snort, and shove. On the far side lies green grass. Below the surface lie unblinking jaws. Then, all it takes is one animal plunging down, and the chain reaction explodes. Hundreds slide down the bank into muddy water, bodies crashing together, horns tangling, cries ripping through the air. And that is when the crocodiles rise from the depths. Some are dragged under, some are trampled, some make it across, and keep running as if there is no time to look back. That is the cruelty and the grandeur of migration. Not all will survive, but those who do will reach the grass, recover their strength, give birth, and begin the cycle again. Wildebeest are symbols of collective will. They prove that, in nature, power does not only come from teeth, claws, or individual dominance. Sometimes power comes from an entire population choosing to keep moving forward, even when what lies ahead is chaos, blood, and carcasses. When you watch a herd of wildebeest stretching all the way to the horizon, you are not just seeing a grazing animal, you are seeing resilience taking the shape of a living flood. The wild is full of incredible wonders. Every animal, big or small, plays an important role in the Earth's ecosystem. The more we understand them, the more we realize how precious nature truly is and why it deserves to be protected. If you enjoy stories from the world of wildlife, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next amazing moments. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next journey into the wild.